from the soul with it. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Diallo Rex coming to you live with yet another video. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be a part of the notification squad. So I ain't really want to touch on this topic, but I guess I'll talk about it. And I'm going to do this without trying to be religious and holier than thou as possible, because I don't want y'all to be like, oh, he's Creflo Dollar and he's TD Jakes or whoever, right? But I had this post, and I'm going to post a picture up here where it says, Drake makes a song called God's Plan, but nothing in the song is pertaining to God. So already posting this picture, I already knew that there will be someone who says, well, he does the video, and when he does the video, you're going to see him giving out money to this person and that person. I already knew. Like, I look at things from two different perspectives. I'm looking at it from a perspective of a person with a simple mind, and then I'm looking at it from a perspective of somebody who understands marketing, who understands promotion, who understands the things that I do my research on that other people wouldn't, right? So I'm going to tell y'all about the exact conversation. I'm not going to put the person's name up there. I'm going to just go word for word about the conversation that we had, right? So he comes up there and he says the exact same thing what I already knew he was going to post. I said, so how you know that was God's plan? How you know that's God's plan? How you know God's plan isn't for Drake to go up to all these people that he went to and say, hey, this is what's, because his kids looking up to Drake, right? Drake is one of the most influential artists in the industry right now. And that's no disrespect to Drake, right? Because I was once that guy, lost. So I'm trying to figure out why God's plan wasn't to go to these different individuals and say, these kids, your kids look up to me, and I want to tell you what's really going on in the music industry. The stuff that they don't show you. I want you to know what's really going on in the industry. How you know God's plan wasn't for you to tell them about these 360 deals that these artists are signing? How you know it wasn't God's plan? Because from the outside looking in, it all looked like roses. It looked like we see mansions, we see cars, we see all the money in the world. But then when they get in, why is it that Prince, we got an artist like Prince, who's one of the most impactful artists, one of the biggest artists of all time, Prince and Michael Jackson. How come you got a guy like Prince telling artists, you could do the research for yourself, telling artists do not sign to these major labels. They're turning you into a slave. He writes slave on the side of his face. Prince going in on the music industry. So you telling me Prince don't got all his masters and not be able to keep all his masters? But then you telling me Drake got his masters? How you know God's plan wasn't to get the community to come together and everybody stand up as a people? How you know God's plan wasn't to expose the things that's really going on in the industry? How you know that wasn't God's plan? How do you know that's God's plan? Nothing in the song. So I say, what if he never did the video? What would you think about it then? You proving my point. So then he says, well, I do. I say, bro, I'm not even going to say anything to you. He said, I never gave Drake no money, or pretty much like he doesn't support Drake. I said, if you watch the God's Plan video on YouTube, or if you streamed it on Apple Music, then yes, you supported Drake in some form or fashion. You got Drake paid, or the people that's over top of Drake paid, right? I said, you're lost. He said, no, I'm not lost, because I do my research on the Illuminati, and which means none of the artists he said they all are in the Illuminati, right? So I'm like, okay, if they all in the Illuminati and nobody's excluded, then that means Drake isn't excluded. So if you did your research on the Illuminati, then you would know that they worship the devil. That's from what I hear. I don't know. I'm just assuming. That means they worship the devil. So how would Drake be doing God's plan? Oh, his name is Six God, right? You just proved my point. I said, you, sir, you are amazing. You just proved me right without me even have to. I shouldn't even said nothing after that. You just proved me right. If you do your research on the Illuminati, you see that they worship the devil. Then how he doing God's plan? Because they don't believe in God. They believe in the devil, right? Come on, bruh. You feel me? And that's no disrespect to Drake. But I just want to know, how was that God's plan? He says, might go down as God. A simple-minded person, like, oh yeah, he probably talking about going down as God in the rap game, in the rap industry. In the rap game, he going down as God, not the go, he going down as God. Right? Okay. But it sounded like to me, like I told him, I said, if I was a record label, if I owned a record label and I made all this tons of money, I said, I'd make money off you easily. Easily. It's all smoke and mirrors. I make money off you easily. Because you don't understand the marketing. The average person don't understand the marketing. So I could get over on you easily. How you know that was the real budget? It's 2018. Technology, I could get somebody to do a video. How you know that was the real budget? And I ain't saying that, I'm just saying, like, I ain't saying that wasn't the real budget. I'm just saying. You know, all I'm going to say is this. When you have major artists, when you have artists like who everybody loves now, Cardi B, right? When you have an artist like that telling you that my label told me I want to put out music, but my label told me I can't. What? You're the biggest artist and have the wave right now. What do you mean your label tells you you can't put out the music? You have the power, right? That doesn't make sense. Drake, why did you wait until you do a video, a music video? Why did you wait to do a music video to give out money? Or it's not God's plan to go educate people about business, be in debt over student loans? Why is not God's plan to go educate them on that? Or educate them about business? How you gonna tell me that's God's plan? I don't know what God got planned for me. I'm doing these YouTube videos. You know what Dick Gregory told it was a young guy who interviewing him. He said, young man, you doing more for black people than any of these entertainers right now. Because you're educating, you're using this platform, you're using me, I'm giving you the knowledge that I have, and you got millions of followers. You got millions of followers all over the world who getting influenced by what I say, and you could change that perception. I didn't start reading until I started watching Dick Gregory, until I started watching Professor Griff. That's when I started reading. Let's talk about J. Cole. We talk about a person who, when they had, I think it was if I'm not mistaken, it was either the Mike Brown situation. J. Cole was right in the community marching. Go look at J. Cole For Your Eyes Only documentary and look how he's going to these different communities and in these different urban communities in the hood, talking to these people about how we can make change. We talking about one of the biggest artists in the industry right now. We're talking about a guy who sells out 19,000, the Forum, 19,000 people, 19,000 seats, 2 nights in a row, with no other artists, no other big artists on the bill. We talk about a guy in J. Cole who sold 500,000 records, the same amount of records that Drake sold. Drake just did 1 million a year before that. We talk about a guy who doesn't need no gimmicks. I mean, we haven't heard J. Cole having any ghostwriters, right? We talk about a guy who has no gimmicks. No Rihanna's on his album. No singles really on the radio like that. I'm talking about no catchy, oh man, she wanna lick me like a lollipop single, right? We talking about a guy in J. Cole. He ain't got the jewelry. We talking about a man who don't have no jewelry, a man who don't have a nice grill, we talking about a man who look dirty with dreads everywhere, selling 500,000, no gimmicks. How is that possible? That sounds like Lauryn Hill getting 5 Grammys in one night, an album doing big numbers without having butt injections, without having fake breasts, without having to do gimmicks and twerk and stuff. Come on, bruh. Like, what are you talking about? So how you know it wasn't God plan to do like Michael Jackson did? And I'm just paraphrasing. When Michael Jackson went out and said that the history books, everything that you read and you learned in school, the history books are fake. Everything that you learned, it was fake. How do you know that it wasn't God's plan to do like Prince did in the interview? And Prince went out there and talked about the chemtrails. How you know that wasn't God's plan? How you know it wasn't God's plan to do like Eric Snowden did and talked about how the NSA and the government is monitoring us 24/7, exposing all the phone records and everything that they had on us, how they trying to take our privacy. And then you got Cardi B, who does a song called Invasion of Privacy. When you got Mark Zuckerberg going out there, it just got in trouble for having our information, our data. How you know that wasn't God's plan?